Dole, the Rational National, David Dole, the Rational National, and Jamal Thomas. Jamal Thomas was talking about this yesterday, so I'm going to pull some Jamal Thomas up. Here's the reason AOC lost badly. And David Dole, the Rational National, Democratic leaders block AOC from key committee spot. Now this flies in the face of David Soroto's argument that it's all about the committees, or that other guy. So it's all about the committees. Oh, okay, you guys doing all this behind the scenes. So AOC, how come you're not on the Energy and Commerce Committee? How come Kathleen Rice is now on the Energy and Commerce Committee? So that little behind-the-scenes bullshit, we didn't get our committee chairs, right? Kathleen Rice, let me get this list of progressives. Is Kathleen Rice, is she one of the few hopes for America? Let's see, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, Rokana, Pramila Jayapal, Mark Pocan, and incoming Jamal Bowman, Corey Bush, Marie Newman, Mondaire Jones, and Richie Torres. None of those sound like Kathleen Rice. So what the fuck? We're supposed to believe that the progressives are going to get in the head of these committee chairs? Jesus Christ. This is,
Side of AOC, they're on the side of Tlaib, they're on the side of Ilhan Omar, they're on the side of Jamal Bowman. People don't care about Henry Cuellar. A lot of these conservative Democrats in their...
I don't care about Henry Cuellar.
Because people know their name. They're familiar with them. That's it. So if you actually mount a real challenge and do your job in terms of actually getting into the media and discussing those challenges and why you support primary challenges to these individuals, be able to help build that movement, grow that energy, you will get them out and actually at some point potentially get something through that will actually help people.
Now let's consider, a David Soroto argument. Not a bad argument. Says that by executive action, Joe Biden can get a public option for, for the rest of America. So we will get universal health care. Well, that's actually a fantastic idea. That's another quiver in our quill, right? So we need as many quivers in our quill as possible. We need as many quiver in our quills as possible. And so he wants to pressure Joe Biden to get us a public option. Well, those are the two options now, isn't it? So you put up Bernie Care for a vote, put Bernie Care up for a vote, and then put Joe Biden's public option plan up for a vote. And see exactly where, where does the Congress stand? Are you for, you're not for just one government? Okay, you're not for single payer. Are you for universal health care? So not Medicare for all, but universal health care. Put two bills simultaneously. One, Bernie Care. The other, Joe Biden's, expand Obamacare, expand Medicaid, whatever. And then see where our representatives in the House stand on this shit. So that's David Dole. He's an ally. He's on the right side of the movement. Here's a little, not Nico House, but Fiorella Isabel on the Nico House and the MCSC network.
Launched the siege on Iraq. And instead of asking the first question...
And who defended the deaths of 500,000 Iraqi children.
Well, exactly. I mean, your first question should have been, do you still think it was worth it?
We have heard that 500,000 children have died.
So that's about Anna Kasparian's interview, the NATO conference, taking NATO money, She said, well, he was at the conference too. Well, he tried to, kind of stir some shit up, but TYT buried the video on this shit.
And is the price worth it? I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
500,000 Iraqi children. Yeah, that's U.S. policy. Yeah, it's worth it. Are you fucking kidding?
And instead, it was just a softball interview for which Kasparian, it appeared to have been a paid gig for a NATO conference.
Appeared.
Welcome to your MSC. I am delighted to be here and to have a conversation with the former U.S. Secretary of State under Bill Clinton, Madeleine Albright.
So they're sitting there saying she takes NATO money. And then they responded that Jimmy Dore takes Assad money.
That's been taking place on the left.
So
kind of
stupid.
Conversation about
Syria was the one war we could have got out of.
Has to do with trying to force.
Now we're in 374
Medicare for all on the floor.
wars.
This basically boils down to Nancy Pelosi wants to be Speaker of the House. The lefties have enough in order to basically hold leverage in order to get something else. Now, something else shouldn't be limited to Medicare for all. And if I'm being honest, you should try to get some kind of tangible material gains. The Medicare for all vote has multiple benefits that I've said before. One, you show people what leverage looks like. The conversation that's taking place right now on the left is honest-to-God conversation that should have been taking place with Joe Biden, meaning the fight that should have been had.
Yeah, where the fuck was everybody?
Whether or not Joe Biden should get supported, if Joe Biden is not willing to support Medicare for all, that would have been your best chance of trying to force an appropriation of the position. Because at the very least, it puts the election in question. The very fact that the conversation is taking place becomes problematic.
Okay, so we're talking about still, I'm trying to just get more information. I think I understand, the gist of it, right? They got these committees behind closed doors, right? I don't know perfectly, but energy and commerce. AOC, well, there's a race between Kathleen Rice and AOC. Is she going to be the chair of the Energy and Commerce? She would have done a fantastic job, right? AOC would be a fantastic chair in any of these committees, positions. But no, Pelosi says no to AOC, and but AOC isn't supposed to say no to Pelosi. David Sirotto and, all the detractors want to say that they're fighting behind the scenes in all these committees and shit. Well, this is, proof positive. This just happened. AOC was rejected. She's not going to be the chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee. We don't have a progressive that's the chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee. It's Kathleen Rice. And Jamal, it's 1 minute 21 in. Okay, you support Medicare for all. Thank you. 34. Okay, let's just...
To somebody like Joe Biden, who does not have a huge amount of popularity. Trump is an ogre, but that conversation still should have taken place because I got to be honest, it doesn't matter.
It should have took place a long time ago. So let's have the conversation. Come on, Jamal. Let's fast forward.
Healthcare and 300,000 dead, 220 million or something infected, like some ungodly number. 14
million lost their health insurance. Yep.
Yesterday.
It's terrible. Evictions, unemployment.
For floor vote. And they voted down. Each and every Democrat that voted that policy down, you should have a lefty running against them, trying to take their ass out of office. Mm-hmm. The principle to which you ascribed to when you first got into
what would you call that strategy?
Not just AOC by herself. But the principle that you ascribed to was, we got to primary some folks. Why? Because I want to get Medicare for all passed. I want to get a Green New Deal passed. I want to increase the minimum wage. I want to do X and Y, Z.
The Medicare for all is actually part of the Green New Deal. I'm not sure if AOC
the Democratic Party
remembers.
Completely. And because the Democratic Party is against those things almost completely, and because I want to get these agenda or these items accomplished, one or two things has to take place. They either have to agree with me or they need to go.
We got to agree with Jamal.
Of the American public, or for that matter, not even in the interest of the Democratic Party considering a... And why would it? If you're going to give your support to Joe Biden unconditionally, without requiring anything, not only do you let America down, because it's the responsibility of the left to see to these things, especially when an opportunity presents itself to do so. Like 2020, which was, believe it or not, I think an opportunity. But it also weakens your candidate.
Yeah. I agree. What the fuck about AOC, Energy and Commerce? Anything?
Possible. To any degree that's possible.
Come on, Jamal.
that sweet, sweet money in their pocket.
Okay, so he started out with a good title. He didn't really get into it much. So, okay, there you have it.
Against them. They know that we'd rather have their super PAC money used in their stead. They know all of these things. 70% of the time is spent begging for money. And, what, 90%?
All right, so, yeah, Pelosi said reject AOC, but AOC is not supposed to reject Pelosi. If we do give unconditional support to this fucking, regime, we will get absolutely nothing. So power concedes nothing without a demand, absolutely. But that's just the beginning, right? You demand a thing, and now we got to go get it. My representative here is Lauren Boebert, so there's like literally no chance of me convincing her to get universal health care. She's not a progressive. We only got 12 progressives. That's the only hope that we have for the United States of America. Put the pressure on the progressives, and then the progressives put the pressure on the rest, and then maybe we'll get what we want with our 12. Let's try to maximize the amount of power. We have nothing. We got, scraps and crumbs. So let's have a wish list. Let's get a top 10 list. I think $2,000 a month and universal basic income, $2,000 a month, but universal health care for COVID. That's a punishment that fits the crime. Tim Black was talking about, some black people's issues. I don't know how to, can you just sign away the police? No more police by executive order. I don't think you just sign an executive order like that. So I was thinking get rid of the war on drugs. The war on drugs, that's taking a machete out of their fucking toolbox. And so, yeah, you can do that with a stroke of a pen. It doesn't take, money or what have you. So those would be the three issues: to help with police brutality, to help with the economy, and to help with our lack of universal health care. That's what we should pressure Pelosi. That would be the top three for me. And I think top 10 of the progressive YouTube nation or the progressive internet nation, there should be the squad. We should have the outsider squad. And the outsider squad is the ones that put the pressure on the insider squad. This should be just, the fact that people are freaking out about this. Ben Dixon admitted, he basically revealed himself and said that Jimmy Dore found a gold mine. So expect Ben Dixon to be changing his mind here in a day or two. And David Soroto had revealed himself, because David Soroto, he has said that Jimmy Dore, you're not the hero of this fight. Listen here, Jimmy Dore, you're not the hero. Why not? Jimmy Dore's, David Soroto, they're all just as good as, Jamal Thomas. Who gives a shit? Jamal Thomas come up with it and everybody's talking about it. Well, we're going to just look at Jamal Thomas's life and be like, that Jamal Thomas, he once said that one thing about the one thing. Let's get some health care. Let's get universal health care. Let's stop police brutality. Let's end the wars and, stop racism. Let's, stop homelessness and poverty. There's a lot of fucking shit that we need to, start working on. And with this U.S. Congress and this president, there's no hope for America. All the hope rests on these 12 progressives. And by putting the Medicare for All vote, we'll see who is for health care, who's not for health care. That does help with the primary thing, but it also helps to clarify, are these 12 progressives enough? Do we have a chance, or is America fucked? Jimmy Dore has been telling us that America's fucked with Joe Biden. He's worse than Donald, and in some respects, he is worse than Donald. He's a segregationist, crime bill, welfare reform. My God, it's like he just picks a black stereotype and passes legislation against it. So Joe Biden, I have zero hope, and really, he promised that nothing's going to fundamentally change. I fucking believe him. I believe him. He talks down to progressives because he's not a progressive. He's like, hey, I get things done. Not revolutionary, not a progressive, you get things done. Towards what direction? Not progress? Regression? Okay, I gotcha. So yeah, I think this is an important litmus test to see if they're the vanguard party or not, see if they're the vanguard movement. Are they the vanguard people that we need? Are they these 12 progressives? Do we even have hope? I look at the 12, progressives, and, I think, oh, there's some hope, right? Is there? AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, Rokana Pramila, Jayapal, Mark Pocan, Jamal Bowman, Corey Bush, Marie Newman, Mondaire Jones, Richie Torres. We're supposed to just give them respect, right? So they're just supposed to kiss ass, we're just supposed to kiss their ass, and then hope that maybe, you know, they'll sprinkle a little bit of water on us. This is what Ben Dixon said, that if Jimmy Dore was in hell, or he was on fire, he wouldn't piss on him to, you know, put the fire out or some shit. Ben Dixon hates Jimmy Dore with a passion. Not because Jimmy Dore did anything to him, but because he had a good common sense, a great common sense idea whose time has come. And nothing can stop a great common sense idea whose time has come. Nothing. The genie's out of the bottle. Ben Dixon, Emma, Sam, y'all got to deal with it. Anyways, AOC lost the energy and commerce. So, I guess we have to just give up on energy and commerce now. Peace.